The Federal Republic of Germany, as a federal state, consists of 16 partly sovereign federated states, commonly and formally Bundesland, federated state, plural Bundesländer, federated states. Since the German nation-state was formed from an earlier collection of several states, it has a federal constitution, and the constituent states retain a measure of sovereignty, with an emphasis on geographical conditions. Berlin and Hamburg are frequently called Stadtstaaten, as is the free Hanseatic city of Bremen, which in fact includes the cities of Bremen and Bremerhaven. The remaining 13 states are called Flächenländer. The creation of the Federal Republic of Germany, Bremen, Hamburg, Hesse, Rhineland-Palatinate, West Berlin, while officially not part of the Federal Republic, was largely integrated and considered as a de facto state. In 1952, following a referendum, Baden, Württemberg-Baden, and Württemberg-Hohenzollern merged into Baden-Württemberg. In 1957, the Saar Protectorate joined the Federal Republic as the state of Saarland. The next change occurred in the aftermath of German reunification in 1990, in which the area of the German Democratic Republic, Saxony-Anhalt, and Thuringia to the Federal Republic, and by the de facto reunification of West and East Berlin into Berlin and its establishment as a full and equal state. A regional referendum in 1996, to merge Berlin with surrounding Brandenburg as Berlin-Brandenburg, failed to reach the necessary majority vote in Brandenburg. While a majority of Berliners had voted in favor, federalism is one of the entrenched constitutional principles of Germany. According to the German constitution, and in areas where they have the legislative authority, they have limited powers to conclude international treaties, with the consent of the federal government. It is the states which formed the Federal Republic of Germany in 1949. This was in contrast to the post-war development in Austria, where the National Bund was constituted first, and then the individual states were carved out as units of this federal nation. The German use of the term Länder, however, this term is not used officially, neither by the Constitution of 1919 nor by the Basic Law. Saxony, the other 11 pre-existing states either merged into one another or were separated into smaller entities. A new delimitation of the federal territory keeps being debated in Germany, in contrast to how there are significant differences among the American states and regional governments in other federations without serious calls for territorial changes in those other countries. Arthur B. Gunlichs summarizes the main arguments for boundary reform in Germany. The German system of dual federalism requires strong Länder that have the administrative and fiscal capacity to implement legislation and pay for it from own source revenues. Too many Länder also make coordination among them and with the federation more complicated. But several proposals have failed so far. Territorial reform remains a controversial topic in German politics and public perception. Federalism has a long tradition in German history. The Holy Roman Empire comprised many petty states, numbering more than 300 around 1796. The number of territories was greatly reduced during the Napoleonic Wars. After the Congress of Vienna, 39 states formed the German Confederation. The Confederation was dissolved after the Austro-Prussian War, in which Prussia defeated Austria and forced Austria to remove itself from the affairs of the German states. Prussia and the other states in northern and central Germany united as a federal state, the North German Federation. On 1 July 1867, 4 of the 5 southern German states and the imperial territory of Alsace-Lorraine. Within the empire, 65% of the territory and 62% of the population belonged to the state of Prussia. After the territorial losses of the Treaty of Versailles, the remaining states continued as republics of a new German federation. These states were gradually de facto abolished and reduced to provinces under the Nazi regime via the Gleichschaltung process, as the states administratively were largely superseded by the Nazi Gauss system. During the Allied occupation of Germany after World War II, internal borders were redrawn by the Allied military governments. No single state comprised more than 30% of either population or territory. This was intended to prevent any one state from being as dominant within Germany as Prussia had been in the past. Initially, only 7 of the pre-war states remained: Baden, Saxony, and Thuringia. The states with hyphenated names, such as Rhineland-Palatinate, North Rhine-Westphalia, and Saxony-Anhalt, owed their existence to the occupation powers and were created out of mergers of former Prussian provinces and smaller states. Former German territory that lie east of the Oder-Neisse line fell under either Polish or Soviet administration, but attempts were